So now we put the little Torana on the hoist for the first time and we get it ready for Summernats.
Okay, so first, on the small list of things that we have to get this car Summernats ready, considering that we're not going there to thrash on this thing or do burnouts or anything like that, we're just taking this thing just so we have something cool to drive. We're swapping the tyres left to right because although they are the exact same tyre size, the same wheel offset and everything, this one, for some reason, is wider. It's like there's a different actual brand tyre, so they're not matching tyres in the rear. The sizes are the same. This thing never scraped. When I swapped tyres from one side to the other for some reason, it started scraping. So we're swapping them back so we can overcome that issue. Also, there's a knock in the rear end. It's just the spring in the locator, so I'm gonna rubber mount that to sort of reduce that. We're gonna flush the cooling system just because we can.
The exhaust leak.
Oh yeah, there's an exhaust leak which we'll get to later. But very thankful that we took the time to do the engine bay properly on this thing, because with a fresh painted engine, you could identify the exhaust leak straight away. Like we could see exactly where the exhaust fumes are coming out. So we'll try and get to that. Nip up the extractors and hopefully that will take care of that and we'll be pretty much ready to rock. Apart from a good clean. Okay, so the spring is ready to roll back in. So as you can see, we've actually taped it up. I didn't have any hose the right size, so we used a bit of fuel line or trans line or something, and I've cut that and I've sleeved it over top, taped it up. This will be a temporary measure or until it fails basically. What was happening is that this was holding the car up here, and then as it compressed, that would bottom out and make a slight knock, and it was so annoying. So here we are putting it back in. Alright, lovely.
Just my head.
I'm gonna locate it. Alright, down you come. Yep, stop. Jesus. She comes flying down. Alright, little further. Whoa. Jeez. That's it. Beautiful. That's the other way. Alright, cool. This is what we're after. No knocking. That knock has been driving me nuts all year. One thing ticked off the list. Actually, you know why? I don't think that was even on the list. Which makes it hell annoying. There it is, spot on, absolutely perfect. Got this thing running right now. We had some issues with the kickdown, and every time I let off the throttle, it would shift back to second gear, and it would shift back a lot higher than it should, like as in I could be doing 60 Ks, it'll drop back to second. Now these Trimatics run off of a vacuum, and it turns out that I was drawing vacuum from the wrong part of the carby, and it was shifting down, wasn't recognising vacuum properly. So I changed where I got the vacuum from, the base plate now, and it's shifting perfectly. So super stoked I got that sorted out. Basically I've got to clean the car now, go over everything, make sure it's all ready to go, and then we can load it up in the trailer and hit the road. So in addition to getting the Torana ready, which of course isn't a lot of work, we've got to do a bit of work on the AU. This is the daily rig, but we're going to use this as the tow rig this weekend to get the Torana there and back. Now, I'm going to do a set of wheel hubs in the front because they're kind of questionable. Also going to do trans service. I've already serviced the engine. And aside from that, I think we're pretty much ready to go. It should be pretty cheap to get over there because we've got LPG, we've got air conditioning and power steering and cruise control. So it should have the comforts to get us there and back. And then once it's there, we can have some fun in the Torana. So Andrew's just got to finish cleaning up that. And also I'm going to do a set of wheel bearings on the trailer. And I think that's all we've got to do. Pretty easy, this one. Okay, so I actually haven't got one of those pedestal things that catches all the oil, but this hoist did come with some drip trays, which I've actually been using them as a tool. I've used those in conjunction with a low-lying Harley-Davidson oil can, like oil catcher. These things are freaking genius, and they're also good if you don't have a hoist because you can slide them under a car and drop the oil without having it super high and without spilling it. It just drops, it runs in, and then once it's in, and you wipe it up, which I haven't, you transport it like that and the oil stays contained. Like, it's actually genius. So now I'll take the drip tray out and I'll slide my jack in, get the front wheels up, get these hubs sorted. And one more thing I'll say before I rattle on too much about this hoist, which is obviously a new addition to the shed. If you are building a shed or you're putting concrete in your shed, definitely consider putting in some underground lighting. I took this idea from Dave Lee, who you've seen on the channel before. He done this under his hoist, and one of the best additions. Like, it already lights up down the side so well, and yeah, this has made life so much easier. Okay, so we're now ready to go. I ended up finishing up all of the maintenance required on the wagon. We've got the front hubs sorted, we've got trans service, engine service, it's all clean, ready to go. I also checked all the hubs on the trailer. They were all good. I made sure the bearings are all packed, ready to go, and the brakes are all operating. And that's it. So it's now there's nothing left except to throw this Torana on the back and start making tracks. Okay, so we're just making our way into Redmart, so we're only sort of an hour and a half from home, and this is sort of the furthest we've come, and and the sort of the most we've seen this floodwaters in SA, and it is insane. We've just done about 5 or 6 kilometres coming into Redmark, and it's just water as far as the eye can see for like nearly 10 minutes. It's absolutely unbelievable. And back there, all you can see is the odd air conditioning top and peak of the roof. Some serious water coming down here. Okay guys, so we're done for the day driving. We've been on the road since about 10. We finally rocked up at Hay in New South Wales, and we've got ourselves a sheltered caravan.
Sheltered ensuite site.
Basically it's got a little ensuite, so we had a bit of privacy to have a nice hot shower, have a toilet and stuff. It's got shelter, so the Torana's undercover tonight, and we are literally staying in the back of the wagon. So we're going to shoot over to the pub now, have ourselves a meal, catch up on some sleep tonight, and then hit the road early in the morning. A few more hours on the road, and get up and do it all again.
We are in Canberra. We are heading to our Airbnb and to unload the car, and then we're going to go down to scrutineering. Canberra is like, I don't know, it looks
it's
like
kind of weird. It's just like we're in the bush, but there's highways. And we've only seen a few hot cars get around, not much yet.
Yeah, we're waiting to
to be inundated with cool cars, but it's just not happening yet. But yeah, we'll get unloaded, get into scrutineering, and then see what's going on. How nervous are you?
I'm so nervous.
Okay guys, so we finally made it here. We're in Summernats, and as you can see, the car has now been entered. We've passed through scrutineering. It's super windy, so hopefully you can hear me okay. We're about to go see what it's all about. We've only seen a few cars driving through. It's still not super busy, but I'm sure inside the actual arena, it's mental. So that's going to be a wrap this time around. You're going to have to come back next week for all the action that happens with Summernats, because there is just too much to get edited this weekend. Thanks for coming to watch the journey to Summernats, and we'll see you all next time on the Iron Empire. Cheers guys.